Well, everybody, it's mid-January, which means that Oscar nominations have been announced, and it is time to talk about them. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and predictions for some of the categories for the upcoming Oscars. Although not every category, because there are categories that I just don't really have that much to say about, but I'll talk about the most important ones. Before I get into the categories, though, I want to talk about what I just feel about the Oscars in general, so let's do that. When it comes to big award shows like the Academy Awards, I feel like a lot of people can agree with me that these award shows are kind of a joke. Big award shows like the Oscars are not always that accurate. They leave out certain nominations for certain categories, and there are also certain rules in the rule book for the Oscars. Like, horror movies can never be nominated. You know, as good as it just cannot be nominated ever, like The Lighthouse, for example. Another popular phenomenon is when towards the end of the year we get certain films that are made by a formula that guarantees you an Oscar. You know what I'm talking about. You've all seen here and there some certain films that feel like a perfect Oscar movie. Those are the films that I'm talking about. But I will say that in recent couple of years, this has gotten better with certain unconventional films getting nominated too. For example, Shape of Water won last year, and it was crazy. It was not a typical Oscar movie. And also this year, we have Joker nominated for Best Picture and 10 other categories. And it is actually quite exciting because when you look back at 2008, for example, when The Dark Knight came out, it didn't get nominated back then, and perhaps if it came out this year, it could have had that chance. Because, you know, that was a great film. But back then, I guess we didn't live in that era, but we're improving. That's really good. That's enough talk about the Oscars structure. Let's get into the categories. And let's start with probably the most exciting category of them all, Best Picture. We have some great movies this year. And it is hard to pick a favorite, but I do have a favorite. If you follow this channel, you know that my favorite film of 2019 was Parasite. And when I opened the Oscar nominations list, I was hoping to see that in the Best Picture category, and it was, and I'm extremely happy about it. As much as I love Parasite, though, for some reason I don't think it's going to win the Best Picture. I just don't know, like, it's too good to be true. I don't know, just it doesn't feel like it's going to win. I feel like it's going to win the Best International Feature Film, but I don't think it's going to get the Best Picture. If it gets that, I'll be the happiest person ever. But just something inside me, it says like, nah, that's not happening. I don't know, but we'll see. But I would also be very happy to see Jojo Rabbit, The Irishman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Marriage Story, all of these films win. Now, I don't talk about 1917 and Little Woman because I have not seen those films. Little Woman is coming out extremely soon where I live, and so is 1917. It is coming out towards the end of January, and I cannot wait to see it, but I still haven't seen it, unfortunately, so I cannot say much about that, but I feel like it also has potential to win. When it comes to my predictions, I feel like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has big chances this year. Also, 1917 could easily win. Now, I have not seen that film. Unfortunately, cannot say much, but it won the Golden Globe for the Best Picture Drama, so maybe it will win the Oscars. I know that it doesn't exactly mean that if it won the Golden Globe, it's going to win the Oscars, but who knows? I don't know. It has a possibility. Also, it is possible that Joker could win the Best Picture. That movie surprised us all. It got 11 nominations, guys. It's crazy. So I really wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Joker. And now let's move into the lead actor category. Again, this year we had some great performances. Out of all these performances that are nominated, I have not seen Jonathan Pryce in Two Popes, and I have not seen Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory. But other guys and all those other films I have seen, and all of them were brilliant. I've said it a billion times and I'm going to say it again. Joaquin Phoenix has that Oscar. He is getting the Oscar, no questions. If it's hard to predict other categories, this one is pretty easy. Joaquin Phoenix has that Oscar. I feel like if Joker didn't come out in 2019, though, Adam Driver would get the Oscar for Marriage Story, but sorry, Adam, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, sorry. This is a category that I had the biggest problem with this year because they forgot two amazing performances this year. And I'm talking about Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems and Taron Egerton in Rocketman. And it is honestly disappointing because these two actors both poured their hearts into their performances, they definitely deserve to be nominated, but here we are. As I already said, I unfortunately cannot really comment on Antonio Banderas or Jonathan Pryce. I have not seen their films, but I know that Leonardo DiCaprio could have not been nominated this year, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying that DiCaprio was bad in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Obviously, no. He was super charming and charismatic. It is DiCaprio. How can he not be good? But the thing is, his performance wasn't that mind-blowing to be nominated. Now, if it was any other year, I get it. But this year, we have so many other great performances that they could have, instead of DiCaprio, nominated Taron Egerton or Adam Sandler. That's just my opinion, guys. When it comes to the lead actress category, I don't have that much to say there, except that Scarlett Johansson is going to win for her performance in Marriage Story. She absolutely deserves it. She was brilliant in that film, so I cannot wait to see her receive that Oscar. I mean, at least that is my prediction. Here we are at the Best Directors category, another category that is extremely hard to predict. We had some amazing, iconic guys this year direct some amazing films. You know, we have legends like Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, we have Sam Mendes, Todd Phillips, and Bong Joon-ho. It is really hard to predict who's going to win this one, but I really want to see Bong Joon-ho receive his Oscar this year. I feel like he was perfect. Now, with all due respect to icons like Tarantino and Scorsese and other great directors nominated in this category, Bong Joon-ho was the best director of this year in my opinion. He was perfect in Parasite. When it comes to the Best Cinematography, once again, we have some great nominees this year, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, 1917, Joker, and The Lighthouse. Even though I unfortunately have not seen 1917 yet, I'm seeing it extremely soon. Roger Deakins is the cinematographer of that film. He's one of the best cinematographers ever. He deserves an Oscar every year. Just give him an Oscar. I don't care. No, honestly, I've seen his work behind the scenes. It's crazy. They made that film to look like one shot. I'm pretty sure it has a big chance to win. But also, a nomination that I'm very happy about is The Lighthouse. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the name of the cinematographer for The Lighthouse. That's his name. I'm going to put it somewhere here. I guess it's pronounced Jarin. I'm not exactly sure. Sorry if I ruined it. But what I'm trying to say is that The Lighthouse was great, and when I think about that film, one of the things that come to my mind is the beautiful visuals and the cinematography. The cinematography is just engraved in my mind, the beautiful look of that film, so I would really be happy to see The Lighthouse win as well. Other nominations like the Best Score, Best Animated Feature Film, Best Screenplay, Visual Effects, Sound Mixing, and all of that, I'm not going to really talk about that in depth because it is very hard to predict there. All of the nominated movies there deserve to win. They're all really great. It is hard to pick favorites there. So I'd be happy to see pretty much any of those films in those categories win. And for that reason, it is kind of hard to predict which movies are going to win this year. I feel like it's anybody's game. I feel like that should be the slogan of the Oscars for this year. It's anybody's game. Now, looking at the 2020 Oscar nominations, I'm extremely happy to say that I'm actually excited for this year's Oscars. Now, I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to watch it. I haven't watched the Oscars in 3 years, actually. Maybe I'll watch it, maybe not, but I'm definitely going to be closely following who's going to win. Whether you hate the award shows or you don't, it is always exciting to see your favorite movies get the recognition they deserve. And it is always very saddening to see the opposite. But this year, with some great films, I'm pretty sure that pretty much everybody's going to be satisfied. And I'm already satisfied with all the nominations. As I said, most of these films, if any of those win, I'll be pretty much satisfied. I am rooting for Parasite though, but we'll see. If it doesn't win and any other movie like Jojo Rabbit wins, or Marriage Story or The Irishman, I'll still be satisfied and happy. So that is it for this video, guys. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about 2020's Oscar nominations? Which categories you agree with, which ones you don't. I want to know your opinion. And also, by the way, let me know what do you think about the big award shows like this in general. I'm curious. And if you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like. If you didn't, you can leave a dislike. And if you don't want to miss my other movie and TV show related videos, subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.